Hey, what's going on, you guys? I'm here with Jeff Brown from Reaction RC, and we're going to be talking RC crawling scene, but also giving an update kind of about 2026 Gauntlet, so you can get the dates on your calendar, so your significant others know that that date is off limits. No
10th,
scheduling anything.
10th anniversary. Can't miss it.
10th anniversary. I'm actually wearing my Gauntlet.
Yeah.
What
You've
are
been
you
wearing that a lot.
I am.
I think you got a freshie like a few weeks back or whatever.
This is the freshie. Oh, wait. No, this is the old one.
Oh, no, that is, yeah.
Yeah, because
the
well, I was
circle
going to
logo.
work on mini bikes, so I figured I'll wear the old one if I'm going to do things that might get greasy and whatever. So, what's up, Mitch? Jeff Herrig is the keeper of the clock. Somebody needs to give that guy an award of some kind of a clock, not a Rolex though. I don't think he's worthy of a Rolex yet. He's only been in here keeping clock timing or
You can get him a
6
Seiko.
months or so. Yeah. Casio with a calculator, maybe. He's moved on up to that at least.
Yeah, Casio with a calculator or Timex.
Yes, there you go. Man, well, I have some ideas too for the mini stuff when we talk about Gauntlet. I kind of want to switch it up a little this year, and we can talk about why, but I think we can make it a little more prestigious in a way. I think giving away trophies 2 times in the same weekend is
Right.
for the same thing kind of
Right.
takes away like the wow, I it was so hard. There's
I'm
only yeah.
I'm on. I see what you're putting down.
So
Potentially.
yeah, there'll still be something Friday. And there will still be an award / trophy for it. But I'm thinking something different that's not the same prestige, just more carnival-y Friday night.
Well, and
Or
it keeps
flip
it, something new to look forward to, I mean.
Yep. So we'll talk about that when we get to it.
Yeah, I'm not saying the Gauntlet is monotonous, but hey,
yeah,
a little I mean, it's the same reason I changed my courses and whatever. Keep it fun.
Yep. So we'll still do comps like we did, but I don't want to do 2 of the exact same thing back to back, because then you get potentially people that have the exact same trophy for the same year. It doesn't say like Saturday or Sunday. You don't. I mean, it's just like
Right.
I was the winner, and I got 2 trophies that both say I'm the winner of Class 3 or brushed or brushless or whatever. So I just want to change it up, but we can talk about that when we get to it. So why don't you go ahead and get started with the Gauntlet stuff for the people that are here from that, and then I think we can talk, because the RC crawler stuff is so much about what the Gauntlet is. We can kind of just go into what the scene looks like right now, and
yeah, it all blurs.
kind of what the year looks like, and speculations, conspiracies.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's
You get into all of it.
There's been some new stuff, which is great. I think but yeah, 2026 Gauntlet will be 10-year anniversary. September 18th, 19th, and 20th. The primary days are the 18th and 19th, of course.
Yep.
Sunday, you're more than welcome to hang out. You can go run the trails some more and whatever you want to do.
Yep. And we had a little storm roll in this last Saturday night, which I think pushed some people away, because that was the first year we really pushed the Sunday.
Yeah,
I know I got out of Dodge. Like, I was like, dang, I ain't like, I'm tempted. I'm gone. Like,
oh yeah. Well, we tore down my whole tore down my whole shop, the tent, because we didn't want the tent to get wet, because it'd take like 2 days to dry.
It was exactly it.
Because it's the heavy duty circus.
Thick.
Yeah, giant pain in the butt.
Yep, not fun to pull back out. Swatch watch. There you go, Jeff.
Yeah.
You're a 90s kid. 80s, 90s kid. Yeah, so those are the dates. Is there anything that you're looking for? Are you looking to get sponsors on board, or what's the
well, we already have some sponsors. Of course, NSDRC is back as title. Of course, CCXRC doing everything for the mini side and whatnot.
Yeah.
Family
RC. 124 mop. I mean, I can't do it without him.
And his trailer
and
everything.
The crew, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, oh yeah, I know exactly. The number of people.
I can't take any credit for it. I get to sit at a computer and enter numbers. Everybody else does all the hard work.
Right. You just sit there and wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, family RC's back on board as always. Missy and Andy, Missy loves to do the tiny town
Yep.
and all that. And then Backyard Crawler Addicts has already jumped back on board. So yeah, and I've talked with other people, I mean, there's, talking with RC Chop Shop and
Yep.
whatnot. But yeah, I mean, if anybody, even the hobby shops, even, Reaction will be there, of course, but hobby shops can sponsor and show up. We're not,
Yep.
you know,
We had Cower
limiting
C
that.
was there last year.
Yeah, Cow RC, Three Brothers was
Yep.
new.
Crawler
Um,
Canyon. I
Trio
think.
was new.
Yep.
Crawler Canyon, yep.
FMS was there again.
Carl and his son. Yeah, I mean, you know, but yeah, it was good. And with the 10th anniversary, I'm trying to do some little special things. Um, just a little extra for the quote big one.
Yeah. Low and slow RC. Where are you coming in from? 6-hour drive. Is that Ohio?
Tennessee.
Pennsylvania? Tennessee? I don't know how far south do you have to go for it to be 6
Sorry, not
hours.
Tennessee, not Tennessee, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
You
Yeah.
gotta go through
Kentucky
Kentucky
would be,
first.
yeah. They'd be flying if they were getting there from Tennessee. Wisconsin. Okay. Oh. Yeah.
Well, and of
Yeah.
course, gotta thank the Walters, Jeff and Dave, for the
Oh,
property.
yeah.
But yeah, everything's, I mean, everything's been kind of smooth rolling, so there's no major shakeups. Same price as last year, $35 for the wristband. If you're doing more than one 10 scale truck, it's 35 per truck. But yeah, I was really happy with how everything rolled out last year, and looking forward to this year for sure.
It will be good. We've had, I don't know. I mean, I've been here and there's only been like little instances of the rain stuff. But for the most part, it's been amazing. Like the weather has been so good as far as
Yeah,
like temperature and for the trails and everything and for camping. It's been
2
really,
years
really
ago
nice.
is when we had the heavy dew and there was a storm at like 4 a.m., right? Or something.
I don't remember it.
Well, you should remember your generator not working.
Oh, was that 2 years ago or is that 3?
Oh, maybe that was when I was in the hospital. I forget.
Yeah. Yeah, so that would have been 3 years ago.
Okay.
And that might have been there was a storm overnight and we were in the RV because of the rain. Yep. Well, I'm excited about it, and we've all been chatting. We're trying to come up with what we want to do for the minis for Friday night, but definitely want to make it so that the awards are like more sought after in a way,
Sure.
kind of like the Gauntlet ones are,
Right.
And so if we're giving away, if you have 2 chances to win on one weekend, that doesn't really make it as cool of a win. So
Well,
we were
right.
thinking about some kind of
Even did.
carnival type stuff for the night before. Still have first, second, third for it, but coming up with some kind of a thing of an event that's it's not quite technically a comp like normal, but
Yeah.
where it's like 2 people, like you go down and then your buddy has to come back and you work as a team or something like that. I don't know. We're thinking through ideas and just something to change it up and make it more of a fun comp. But and it probably won't be by classes. It'll just be what it is. It won't it shouldn't affect you based on your rig build as much. So yeah.
After winning 2024 1-9 classic keeps me coming back. Well, and that's why I change up the trophies as well each year,
Yep.
just to keep it, I mean, the purgatory trophies are pretty similar.
Yeah.
King of the Rocks is pretty similar, just because it fits that category,
Yep.
of what the trophy is. And as far as King of the Rocks, there's only one.
Yep. Yep.
The trophy and the crown.
Only one to be had. Yep.
So, but yeah, all the usual events. I can't even think of the schedule because I changed a few things last year to free up Saturday. Friday was a little busier, but you're not you know, I had to free it up a bit because of the 10 scale comp on Saturday. That way the previous year seemed a little jammed to try and get out to everything, before the end of the day.
Yeah. Yep. Actually, what I'm thinking. So Jeff, I can already see him thinking he's one of those cheater guys. He's waiting. He's like, oh, no classes. He's thinking a truck would dig, 4-wheel steer, dual motor, dual ESC, does twisting stuff.
2 drivers. I mean, that's
No,
Jeff
but
Harris.
what I actually think is going to be is house trucks, like 2 stock trucks with better servos and better tires. And yeah, that's what I'm actually kind of thinking is if I have a couple house trucks, that it'll be you just come and you play the game, and whatever it is that we have for you, you can have fun doing it and see if you win on Sunday. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Something more like that, where you just have to show up. You don't even have to have a truck. You just show up and do it.
Right.
And supply it. And yeah, I'll see if I can't get a sponsor on board for that.
Jeff Herrick's claiming he's handicapped. We know you're mentally handicapped, Jeff. It's okay.
We allow that.
We don't judge.
Yeah.
Yes, 35 covers the weekend. There's no additional fee for camping. Yeah, pretty much similar stuff. The last few years. Last year, I think it was last year or the year before, it went to 35. But we keep it simple and come out and have fun.
Yep. Seth says, so you said 35 for 10 scale. What's the price for minis? And minis are included in the price.
$35 gets you the weekend of the
Gauntlet. You're in, and you get to participate in the events. Purgatory has buy-in?
No.
No, it doesn't?
No, I dropped that a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Purgatory does not have buy-in.
But tips are welcome. Hey, I should put a tip jar this year.
Yeah. Hey, the money that you would have spent on the mini, take it and spend it at the vendor and the food trucks and them, and we'll call it good. Call it even.
Supply 4 SCX 30 rig stock.
I might already have a hand. I'm in talks with some people.
Yeah.
I might know a few people.
Dude, you already don't get away from the trailer enough, so.
For what?
Are you?
Oh, no, I'm saying for whatever my event is going to be Friday night. Whatever the mini event is, I'm not going to say right away. We're going to come up with something.
Oh,
it's going to be a show up and drive what we have for you to drive. Whether it's blindfolded, whether it's, we're going to do something, and I don't know what it is. The thing where one guy's steering, one guy's throttling. We might do some weird stuff.
Is that going to be like the 2 to 3 hour comp window you're thinking, or something? Okay.
Yeah, because we're only going to do one comp on Saturday. And so we'll talk about it. I'd rather do more comp rules for that and then do the other one. Anybody can show up and do it.
Sure.
It's yeah.
No, I feel what you're saying.
That way the trophy is like, whoa, I got this one at the Gauntlet.
Nick, I haven't even started on the 30s yet, so
Yeah, well, we can get to that when we talk crawler talk. Because there may or may not be some universal rocks on hand at the event.
Speaking of that, coming up in April, I got to talk to you about maybe borrowing that thing.
Okay. Yep. I've got some universal rocks coming. Jeff Herrick has some universal rocks coming. And so we may have a little something.
Yeah. Don't worry, Nick.
Even after hours stuff. We hang out and play we play after hours stuff all the time. So
yeah, I was gonna say, what time is that going down? About 11 p.m. midnight.
Well, we missed it this past time because we did monster trucking and the little Grom racing on that little square pad he had for monster trucks. We just threw down stuff, and whoever had little bashers brought them, and we were going nuts over there till midnight or 1 a.m.
Right.
Just kicks and giggles. I don't even know. There was a ton of them out there. It was making a lot of dust. right next to the Ring of Fire.
Well, oh, well, real quick, what it is in April there's a Mary Free Bed 5K limb loss walk that I did 2 years ago.
You
I
want to
missed
set
it
up at it?
last year, but I'm sponsoring it this year, and I thought, hey, maybe I could get that thing from Tony,
Yep.
you know, because they do a kids walk also, and like
Yeah.
people with whatever but we get, I mean, they get runners out there like running the 5K for time, like marathon runners and everything, so
Nice.
it's pretty big. I mean, for such a local event,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, guys out there training for other events, whatever, so
That's very cool. Yeah. So there's so many ideas, but this the thing is like you can overcrowd things too, and you just want time. Like that was
right.
when you have free time, like what we have at the Gauntlet, the fun that just happens out of that is half the fun of being there. Like you said, someone said that was a blast when we just all showed up with little trucks and had fun. So, um, crawlers, tiny trucks, whatever it is, at that time it was kind of bashing a lot of people because they were at the Ring of Fire, and then we just ripped after that. So somebody's asking about MOA and sporty trucks. I don't know what sporty trucks are.
No motor on axle. Sporty, I think, is
Jeff likes motor on axle less than he likes STX 30s, I think. What do you think about motor on axle 24 scales, Jeff? Take it another level.
Oh boy.
Because they did that, Hard Park.
I'm very proud of them.
Yeah, they were able to make it work.
It's just more stuff to make it more complex for more people to crash into gates, but
Yeah.
I mean, hey, there's a spot for everything, but just not at every event.
Yeah. Right. And honestly, like for the type of terrain that we have at the Gauntlet, there's really not motor on axle style crawler type terrain. I mean, when you see those guys run them out west and
Right.
what they're pulling them up,
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean, we're just going over a stack of rocks. They're going on these crazy,
Right.
crazy courses with them.
Yep.
Um,
Well, right, and that's the thing is you kind of got to stay in your lane, so you're not trying to, for one thing, we just don't have, the features that, I mean, it's woods, it's trails, it is what it
right,
is, you know,
right.
and and it's what it's always been, just hang out, have a good time, and
Yep.
crawl.
We're saying tough trucks. That reminds me like back in the old school days with RC Sparks and them. I mean, you kind of if you go just enter the King of Rocks, it's pretty much the tough trucks all in one. Mud, rocks, speed, it's a little bit of everything. The AX10, right?
We can bring back the XC1. Is
Yeah.
that the original? The 10 scale.
Axial one?
Yeah, way back after the Scorpion, the AX10, and then the XC1, which was
Yep.
the
That the AX24 is kind of mirrored
yes,
after. Yeah.
correct.
Yep.
I think I saw one for sale, like, I don't know, last year sometime.
So, do you have any more news or updates for the Gauntlet, or we just talk
Just
crawler?
talk. I mean,
Okay.
things will probably pop up. Like I said, the Walters providing the facility, and at this
Fantastic
at
of
this
them.
stage, it's been running so smooth that, like, and you keep it simple, you keep it the same. That way people know what to expect. Of course, I always feel like I have to remind people, don't even ask about coming Thursday. Um, and, no personal fire pits and, such like that. I mean, of course we
Yep.
post all that, but the biggest thing is Thursday. I had somebody comment, they're like, yeah, we need we need to make it longer. Add Thursday. There's so much stuff going on. I'm like, yeah,
The organizers need Thursday to get
yeah,
it ready
yeah. We're
because a lot
there
of us are
Thursday at
working.
9 a.m.
Yeah. A lot of us are working the rest of the week, and that's our real setup day.
Yeah,
Um,
going. I got a dozen of my guys out there. Helping and setting up 600 gates and this and that and cleaning the trails and weed whacking and
yep,
yeah.
blowing them off. Yeah, yeah, they were out there for a long time. They came back late on Thursday
Yeah.
from setting up the
Yeah, I'm trying to think of when you rolled
hostess.
up to like video me, and then Nick
That's
all of
when
a
they
sudden
rolled
rolled
in. It
up.
was late. It was sun setting, so in September, sun is still setting pretty late.
Yeah, well,
So
because they rolled back out to do like banners, like sponsor banners. That I think the gates were done, but then they went out to just kind of oversee everything. But yeah,
yeah,
I mean, it was definitely going on 6, 7 o'clock. So
yeah. 124 Mop saying 4 years. He'll be coming with his trailer, 4th year. 10th year total for this, Rick. 10th year of the gauntlet. I still remember the first one when we did the 24 scale for the first one. What a hoot that was. I mean, you should have seen the rigs that showed up. This is
all
like
the
the
Instagram
heyday of the
trucks.
24 scale Instagram trucks. Oh my goodness. Um, talk about not capable. We ended up just having to like overly help people because they weren't going to make they weren't going to make gates.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, I
That's
mean,
why you had to do time
between
limit. We're like, you know what, time limit because they can't make these and they keep trying.
well,
Yep.
between I feel my shop setup and even Rick's trailer, a lot of people have never seen anything like it.
Mhm.
And I mean, obviously the 10 scale is more trail at the Gauntlet. But even the 24 scale side at my shop, and then Rick's trailer, it's like that's not everywhere with the clay, the realism and all that. So
Yeah.
it's like, whoa, all of a sudden tires are spinning, tires are slipping and
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like the stuff that we use, like the plaster cloth and
right.
yeah, the foam, which I mean, actually, you spin a lot on foam. That stuff's super slick. But as long as Jason Allen is cooking ribs, John Mick says, um, nope, the event is the perfect length. Yeah, I'm super excited about it, honestly. So for me, the Walter trails are so much like what we ran in Virginia, but we didn't comp. We just ran them,
Yeah.
And like the trail trucks that Axial's been dropping recently
Yeah,
are
for
like
sure.
so much the game that I got into with crawling way back when. Like I
Yep.
didn't have anything comp ish until Michigan, and I saw
Right.
what everybody here was running. I'm like, holy crap! Like we didn't have anything like what you guys are doing here.
Well,
And
and
so
I'd
my
say
crawlers,
the
like
last
'cause
2.5 years have been heavy on, that aspect of it.
yeah,
Um,
on the comp side of it,
yes, yes.
yeah, all the releases too. Well, I mean, even
Right.
Axial tried to do one,
Yep.
um,
Yeah.
which I think their bread and butter is more this stuff that they're just dropping. In fact, I think they could deal with getting rid of some of the gimmick stuff out of it, like the dig, and go to just the hardcore, solid built transmissions that you can just dig in mud with, and
Well, the base camp is finally back in stock. The
the
gray and
base camp is that setup, but
yeah, the gray
they
and
used
white
to do
body
that
base
setup
camp.
with licensed bodies at all.
Yeah.
Which the Toyota is kind of that. They add a dig to it, but that transmission in the Toyota is great. I mean, those things are super bulletproof,
Right.
which is a base camp style transmission.
Yeah.
Yeah, versus like the new this not new, but the CJ7 is more like the original SCX-10-3. The way that the transfer and all that works,
Oh,
in
it's
order to
still got
front
the
motor it.
transfer case and all that.
Yes, it's their dual speed one that's front motor mounted. The reason they do it is so they can do interiors. So they need to move the
Um,
motor and everything up front,
I
and
didn't look
then
at it that closely. Did they didn't leave the 2-speed in, did they?
no, it's locked, but you can add it.
Oh, okay.
I think you can add it. Um, but yeah, can has dig and 2-speed. Yeah. So it's there, it's just not installed, but they have the little slider stuff and all that for adding to it if you want to put it in. I don't need it, and most if you run brushless, you shouldn't need 2-speed. most of them, if you get like the 2300, you can go super slow and have tons of torque, but also go really fast on one speed. Like,
Well, the biggest thing is that people, also don't realize because at the shop I'm dealing with people. They're like, I need 3S, I need 3S. I'm like, why do you need 3S? And they're like, well, it's faster. I said, but you're still geared too low. I mean, so it's like if you just noodle it, you're going to build heat. So, I mean, whatever truck you run, yeah, a 2-speed is not necessary because just gear up like 4 or 5 teeth and you're going to get some speed,
yeah,
but
and
you'll
still have
still
low end. Yeah.
and still have the
Those things
lowest
are so
slows.
good. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
so good.
because of brushless and how far it's come, with the programming and whatnot. It's like it's still there, and especially being on a trail. You're not doing the crazy inclines like at my shop and stuff. So
Right. Yeah.
hopefully, I
Notice I
think
did
that
not bring the Jeep to your shop for the video.
what.
I'm confused. You notice I did not bring the CJ7 to your shop to do the video. Your shop is intense. And that thing I could tell was just sitting high, like it sits taller the way that it is out of the box. I'm like, I'm just gonna
Yeah,
roll and smash this thing to death if I already did it with the Toyota, so I know I'm going to. So I'm like, this one's gonna be my trail truck. We're gonna destroy it in other ways. We're gonna destroy it in creek beds and water and mud, but not just tumbling down rocks.
I think the SR5 was a very, very smart release for the 10 scale side.
It's awesome.
I mean, I as a hobby shop owner, I miss the lineup of the 10-2 trucks and bodies because those things would just rocket out the
Yeah.
door.
Yep.
I wish, the
I wish they
pricing
still
was
had the 10-2 Cherokee. I wish they still had that, honestly.
right. Oh yeah, yeah. I wish the pricing was a little better, um but yeah, now with the SR5 and then the CJ7 announced, I was talking with Jason Reckner and I was like, they need to bring back either the Cherokee or the Comanche and then maybe a Honcho and they'll be like, they got to bring it back. Like, I mean, because that's what people were looking for,
Yeah.
the
The Jeep,
basically it was done
the
for you.
deadbolt, and yeah,
You know,
deadbolt,
the
Honcho, Cherokee, cheap, and
right.
go. But they had plastic links, but they left you room to upgrade. They
Well,
left them.
even if they take the base camp truck, with the white and gray, which sells for 340 or something.
Mhm.
Um, take that truck. You don't need, the SR5 necessarily, that platform. Because the Coyote sells for 350 also. But take that base camp platform and put some bodies on it.
Yeah. I think I'm reading Tyler's message, and I was actually just gonna say this. I With the exo cage stuff that they're doing now, if they took the XJ Cherokee and they brought that back, like how you don't just see normal Cherokees running around very much anymore. Now they're off-road trucks. If they built them to look like the trucks here, XJs here in Michigan,
Right.
cage that thing and make it just look tough, like, put the big old fenders on it or the protectors like on the CJ7, the body panels, the armor.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be so sick. Flare the front even a little like the guys do with the fiberglass front
Right.
fenders.
I,
Oh,
I
be
feel they
so good.
wavered a little from the path, so to speak.
Yeah,
So it's like okay, reel it back in, and let's get some cool, ready to go trucks out there that people can look at that, know exactly what it is, and it's like either I owned one or this or that, and because that's what it's about.
yep. Yeah, or I wanna own one. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I can't afford the big one, but I like this one.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, even that new CJ7, man, that orange color. Whew.
The bronze one? The
Yeah,
copper?
bronze, orange,
Oh
or
my
whatever.
gosh, yeah, so good. With the chrome grill and chrome wheels.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
well, before, they had the CJ7 10.3 before it was discontinued. And, throughout
You
that,
had it on your desk. You had it on there for a couple weeks, and I came in to buy
I
it,
know.
and you're like, "I just sold it to the guy," like, my local guy that comes in and just buys everything I have up here. Whoever your guy is that would just come in and buy everything, he had the Yeti, or no, not the Yeti, the Rift, and some of the other stuff, and he just buy everything you had. Ended up buying it, I think. Anyway, I
But I
remember
always
that.
wanted
Like, I'm
to.
like, I finally was sold on. I'm like, I'm going in. I'm buying that thing off of his counter. And you said it was gone. I'm like, dude, it's been sitting there for like a month. How's it gone? The second I want it. And yeah,
Then, but I mean, these are the type of trucks where I would just get it, open the box, upgrade the servo, maybe drop brushless, depending on what I wanted to do, put some heavy wheels on it, and call it a day. Like trail trucking. Let's go.
yeah, dude. Trail trucking for me is it was my original SCX-10, which was the Casey Curry edition white Jeep. Had a little dog in the back from like Hobby Lobby or Michael's glued in there. Had a wrestling figure cut in half so you could Velcro him to the little seat, the little half of upper part of the seat they had there, and you glue their hands to the steering wheel. And what did it have? Oh, Harley back in the day would sell like this electronics tray that put your battery forward on the skid angle, or on the chassis where it comes down there to the skid. It'd go there, and then it would float the electronics and stuff on the side. And that was like, nobody was doing that back then, right? So he had this tray, so I bought that, put it in, that got my weight lower. But dude, I ran stock tires on that thing forever. Like, when I gave it away to Operation 11 Charlie, I think it still had the stock wheels and tires. The foams were absolutely gutted. Like, because I would run that through water. I would take it anywhere. We did a mud video even with it, like a mud hole in our backyard. I remember running it through it before I did the mud truck. Um, yeah, it was nuts. But I mean, we just went out and we hit trails and we climbed hills with them and ran over roots, and the dirt there was so loamy and loose that, like, traction, like, you're just sitting there trying to keep
Yeah.
it going straight up the hill and not hit a
Well,
root and flip over. It
but
was a riot.
the tire market from 5 years ago is totally
Oh yeah. Yeah.
wow. Like,
Now
yeah.
this was like 2015, 2016,
Well, yeah, but
15
even
probably.
5 years ago, you had like Hyrax and ruptures. I mean, and landmines.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, geez, you can run 4 different tires on each corner of the truck like Nick does, and uh, that's an inside joke, which we
Oh,
still need
honey.
to do, Nick. 4 tires, 4 different tires. Uh, but yeah, no, like just the options and the different brands and everything in the market these days is you know crazy.
Yeah.
Even since opening 5 years ago, I mean,
Oh my gosh. The tire market is insane. Wheel and tire market is insane.
yeah. And
Inserts,
then
everything.
I remember SCX 24s. I mean, they were popular, but
No, they weren't.
and then hot racing was the only option, and I was
And
by
Power Hobby. Power Hobby had some stuff you could get on eBay, even early-ish.
4 years ago. They
Mhm.
had some. They had some
They had the shocks.
enduro 24 stuff.
No, Power
Oh,
Hobby is who I got all my stuff from when
okay.
I could get hot racing. They were the
Actually,
first ones to
I
do
did have a
brass.
wall. I did have a wall of Power Hobby shocks for
You
a while.
did. You did. And the
But
brass. They were the first ones to do the brass stuff with them, and
the hot racing stuff, I was buying those things every option 10 at a time because there was nothing else.
especially the double barrel shocks for them,
Yeah.
because there weren't different lengths. If they were long, they were the double barrel shocks. If they were short, they were normal. Um, yeah, I remember. So 2021 would have been when, like, Furatech really came on the scene, because I showed
Yeah.
up and I think I was the only one at the shop that had a Furatech for one of the
Well,
first
that was
comps
back.
that
That
you
was even
did.
back with the scythe chassis and
I was before that though, but yeah,
oh, okay.
they first had their system, and then after I was running it and did videos, they reached out to me and they sent me a scythe, and we ran that. But I got it. I didn't even know about it. I ordered from A Main because Matt and Josh did a SCX 24 build off, and they were talking about these Outrunner brushless motors, and so I ordered one. And it even with one, I couldn't get up the first one of the first hills you guys had at. We were running it on the 10 scale course, but like one of the gates, I couldn't even get up. I'm like, so what do I do? Like, there were no winch sticks at that time. Like, do hand of God it up to the top, I guess? And yeah. But I had one of the white Jeeps and I aftermarket wheel. So I'd done the widening thing, the widening brass. That's what Power Hobby had. They had the brass wideners that were also hexes, and it would give you a wider offset. So I came in thinking just like all the Instagram boys, wider and whatever, because we weren't comping, so wider was technically better, right? It was
Right.
more stable.
Sure.
But I couldn't get up that hill with whatever wheels and tires I had. I wasn't thinking about offset of the wheels, just they look cool and put them on. Didn't think about positive,
Oh,
negative, like
the simple days.
yeah. And yeah, it was a hoot. I had hot racing links on, but they just matched exactly what the Jeep was. We weren't mixing and matching deadbolts and C10s, and yeah, we were just keeping it simple, but it's
Yeah,
gone.
then the monster came.
Yeah. It bit hard. There was something
Well,
different about it completely with it being tabletop level and right there for you to watch and look at the rocks and everything. It's pretty cool. So
well, and then all the other brands, Trio started being at the big forefront, and then Enjora popped up.
Endure was
And
after me, I think. So there
um,
was hot racing, then there was Power Hobby and what was the other one that was with Power Hobby? And start with an N. But I think they were in the same building, or they were related, or there was some story between. Anyway, there was one other company that was doing it, and then you couldn't get shocks and stuff, so I started doing the monster trucks ones and having shocks made, and then but Mofo was already around, so Mofo. So I remember hot racing, Power Hobby, and Nitro Hobbies,
oh yeah.
Nitro Hobbies. So Power Hobbies, Nitro Hobbies, then Mofo. But Mofo, Power Hobbies, and Eurotech really gave it a huge boost. Like it took that whole
Well,
market to another level, and then Endura came in, and they just
yeah,
like they
yeah.
just
Well,
bottomed the pricing and went
Power
nuts.
Power Hobby. I knew about Power Hobby and Nitro Hobby 20 years ago, or 15 plus years ago, because they were both not 20 years ago, 15 years ago, when I was selling on eBay before I had my retail shop, because those are brothers, Nitro Hobbies and Power Hobby. So they were both out of New York, and so
That's
it
what it
was
was. Yeah,
yeah,
Nitro and Power.
yep.
Yep.
And I think finally they, because the one I haven't even thought about it in so long, but yeah, Nitro or whatever had, because they had their own like wheels, like when wheels weren't really
Yeah.
around, and I kept trying to buy them. I'd message them. I'd be like, hey, I have a hobby shop. They're like, well, we're not doing dealer discount yet, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah. Nitro Hobby had the coolest brass wheels. They were the best looking, and so I'd get theirs. John Mix has been into crawling since 1998. Reaction is the greatest place to be outside of Colorado, where a lot of this started.
Thanks, man.
Ender, Bigfoot. Yeah, and he was talking earlier about the Clodbusters. A lot of people ran the Clodbusters as crawlers. In fact,
Yeah.
Dana was just sending me a picture of somebody looking for one of his old chassis, somebody's
Well,
chassis that they made out of,
yeah. Well, I mean, we could
steel.
go back to the HPI King. What was that thing that people? It was a monster truck, but I think they kind of
Yeah,
crawled with it too.
they just brought it
Um,
back out.
yeah,
Uh, what is it called? HPI King. They had the King Crawler,
yeah.
Wheelie
They had the
King.
King
It's the
crawler.
Wheelie
I
King
mean,
is the one that they would do though.
oh,
They picked
Wheelie
the
King.
Wheelie
Yeah, yeah,
King. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, but then they had the King
That's what
Crawler.
started. That whole motion.
Yep.
So
Yep. So what were people in the chat's first crawlers? I'm curious. I mentioned mine. Oh, you know what my first attempt at a crawler was? This is me not wanting to give up my true roots in the RC world, was a Yeti. Like, I wanted a crawler, but I'm like, "Well, this looks like it can crawl and go fast and do things." And it wouldn't crawl at all. It was not a crawler. It was a rock bouncer, rock racer, Axial Yeti. That was my first attempt at buying a crawler, and
Well, I was
no.
working at before I had my shop. I mean, I had moved to Florida and I got a job at Superior Hobbies, and in '04, and then '05 Axial launched, and of course the AX10 Scorpion came out, and way back in the heyday, the AX10 Scorpion. I mean, and even back then, especially back then, because Axial was the first one to produce a RTR crawler. There's so much custom stuff, because yeah, using the clodbuster axles, using whatever, these guys running, 85 turn lathe motors with 3-cell lipo, and they're moving at, 3-toed sloth speed and filling half the tire with BBs for weight.
Mhm. Still works. At least in the mini world.
Don't tell me you're putting BBs in your tires.
Is that not No, not ever
2000.
since I went to foams and brass inserts and all that. But before that, heck yes. But you had to take out some of the foams for room for them to spin around.
Right.
Yeah. Can't really do it well. We tried it with the inserts. They get locked in places that they shouldn't be, and then you got weird weight. Didn't work.
Actually, you know what's funny about that? You say that. I think 2021 or so, I think
You
I
were
did
running
build. I
BBs.
think I did build some wheels and tires
You
with
did.
BBs.
You totally did. Yep. And a mini.
And then I glued extra ones to the wheel, which made the wheels even heavier.
Yes, you did. I remember it.
All
And
right,
Rick did
we
it.
we
Yep.
got to delete. We got to delete this part of the stream.
Weston came and almost kicked our butts. I think he's in town this weekend too. Is it
Oh,
Monster Jam in town this weekend? I tried to
I
get him
don't
to
know.
come tonight. Because Supercross is 322 is Grand Rapids. Yeah, March 20th, 21st, and 22nd. The Freestyle
Monster
Mania
Jam?
Tour. Yeah, Freestyle
What?
Mania Tour. Yep, at Van Andel.
We need Bari to
So
come up to
Weston blew
Michigan.
me off. If he's watching, he's not watching this, but
Just
blew me
send him a
off.
text right now. Be like, bro.
I texted him Tuesday after the we were at your place. And
Actually, I have his number too. He gave it to me a few years ago or whatever when he came up to the shop,
yep.
because I was going to try and go down to Monster Jam, and so he gave me his cell number.
Yeah, he just kind of was like, I don't know, it depends on the schedule. He said that they brought 30s with them. Yeah, I need to see what the schedule is looking like. Me and a few other guys have 30s we're gonna bring. So maybe they'll still come out, just not for the comp night.
Oh,
So their
next
schedules are crazy because they do like,
next
I
week
guess,
you're saying?
no, he's here right now.
No, I know that.
No, he might still be able to make it in the morning or whatever. He didn't come
Oh,
tonight, is what
oh,
I'm
just
saying.
oh,
Like
just just
he
just
said,
come hang
depends on
out.
what the schedule allows. Yeah. But their schedule gets nuts once they get going. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Well, I
Last time we did it Thursday, I just picked him up from the hotel because they come in and they do walk over the track and
yeah,
all
yeah.
that kind of stuff on Thursday and media stuff. And then
Saturday they're probably going to be busy as all get out.
it looks like they only have a Saturday night.
Oh, okay. Well,
No,
I'm
Friday
working.
night.
I'm
So
working
Friday night.
Saturday.
So Friday morning, they might not be
Well,
because they don't, their
tomorrow's
first
Friday.
thing's at 7. Yeah, that's what I mean. Tomorrow night is, Saturday they have a noon and a 6. So I don't see them having any time on
Oh yeah,
Saturday.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, so
A full
tomorrow
day's
night, yeah. I
jacked.
mean, hit them up. So, and if they want to come before I open, of course we can do that too. So,
Yeah.
depending on, obviously they're probably gonna be busier in the middle of the day, I would assume, and
Yeah. Yeah, usually they have some kind of hit that they have to do for like a morning radio show or morning TV, but then
Yep. Then they're just wasting time. So
people are digging for picks and stuff.
we've had the Toyota SR5 announced, and now the CJ7, and
I'm waiting for the V24 to come.
oh,
I'm just making up a Vanquish 24. A VS
oh gosh,
424. Yeah, VS 424. I'm waiting for the VS 424 to hit. Hopefully this year. They've got to realize all the money they're not making that they could be making. If Vanquish sells something, they just sell it. Like people buy it. They come into the 24 game, even at
yeah,
$200, people would buy it.
right.
If they do it right. Make it
Right.
make it steer. Make it have an angled skid. Yeah. They took their carbon, but kind of shrunk it down.
See, now that would be cool if Element like shrunk their comp Fox. That would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Not with portals though.
Oh yeah. Same with any of the Vanquish and stuff. Not a big Portal fan.
Yeah.
SCX24 V2. Come on, Jeff says. I keep hoping, but my guess would be if they're doing it, it would be because they have had such great feedback on the SCX30 that they're like, ooh, everyone's saying we need a refresh. And to their credit, they are pretty good at listing. So people complain a lot about how they run their products into the ground and they kill them too soon or whatever. But a lot of times it's because they're trying to make updates that everybody's asking for. And they're one of the companies that do listen and say, oh, they didn't like this. Let's go back and let's do this,
Well, and from the business side that I see, obviously there's a lot of people out there. They're like, oh, they run this into the ground, they run that into the ground. The problem, and even this, is like, okay, so do I order X amount, 10,000? I mean, the minimum order quantities that those companies are dealing with, it's like, do we do it all again and have it for like, because they commit,
Yeah.
and so
Is
it's
there enough
like,
people that keep buying this? Like the slash, there are people just keep buying slashes. That's
or do we make some necessary updates and relaunch, so to speak?
yeah.
I mean,
And
because
some are
what I
just
mean,
small
the
running updates. Like this CJ7 is a small update, right? So a lot of the
right,
part numbers are going to stay the same,
right,
but they changed out the electronics and then they did a new livery color.
yeah.
But
I'm
a big
I'm
deal
impressed
kind of
that.
one, with the chroming and the different things. But yeah,
Do they have that 683 servo in the Toyota or no?
I don't know. I think so. You know what?
I mean, not that it's like some super servo, but I'm impressed that I looked it up. It's 260 ounces of torque. So that's
Yeah.
definitely better than.
Yeah. And it's steel geared this time. So sometimes they get aluminum or they get brass or, they say metal gear. Well, these ones, they say, making a big deal to point out there's steel gears in it. It's,
Yeah.
it's slow, but I didn't find it having any issue moving the truck around. Honestly, I
Oh,
put in
yeah. Low and
a,
slow made a good point. Low and slow is like the 683 is also 25 tooth.
that was the biggest thing, which I did point
Yeah.
out a lot in mine. They 25 tooth splined it so that when you go to upgrade, you just stick that servo
Right.
horn that's there, which is a metal servo horn, right onto your new servo.
Yep.
So they did change to the industry standard, which they even say the industry we moved it to the industry standard, which is 25 tooth. So,
And then
which is
RC Man 920, he's talking about minimum order quantities. Yeah, like I mean, I could call China, like if I wanted, something with reaction or whatever, I could buy like 50 or 100 or whatever. But no, when you're dealing with these
well,
companies,
that's
this
because
is
they've made 10,000 of them and they're just going to stamp your logo on 1,000
right.
of them, and somebody else is going to get their logo on 1,000. So they're
Exactly.
still selling
Exactly.
that quantity, but they're breaking it up over smaller chunks.
Right. But
These
when
big
Axial
companies don't get
says
that when they're holding the rights to the design patents. They don't get that option.
no.
Yeah.
And well, and then and right. So when Axial says, "Hey, I need this," the quantity is going to be way, way bigger.
Yep.
Or like an annual commitment, whatever it may be,
And like, so like the LMT that came out the 2.0, a lot of it's the same. They made it a little longer and they made the axles stronger, but those axles will still work on the old one. So if you need to upgrade, you can buy the new housings. And so while the part number is not the exact same, it's actually better. Like they made it stronger. They changed the way that it's pieced together and all that. So yeah. They try to listen. I think I will give them that. So as much flack as a lot of us give them, like, one, I know a lot of the guys that work there, they're just dudes in the hobby that love it and they're
Right.
trying their best. There's always going to be somebody at top that they got to convince that it's worth the cost of doing the whatever the people say. But yeah, it's cool to see. Well, the other thing is that people are just like, if they just kept coming out with a Jeep, people would be like, why? We want something new. Why aren't they giving us
Right.
new? Like, this is the same old thing. And so it's a hard place to be in when people feel like the insiders like that run RCs all the time. We want something new. We've seen the Jeep, but guess what? The non-RC people that see a Jeep
Right.
RC for the first time,
Yeah,
guess
because
what?
there's a big picture
It blows their
aspect,
mind. Yeah.
because yeah,
And
exactly.
we
The
all
hard
have all the Jeeps, but they don't. And they
Right.
think that's the best thing they've ever seen in their life.
Right, because you're still trying to cater to the mass market.
They see a Unimog and they're like, what the heck is that thing? Like,
Right.
we're all like, dude, that's the coolest thing ever. Like, I want a
Well,
Unimog.
and I mean that, and that's the other things, that people don't realize, even besides minimum order quantities. It's like, case in point, the what was it?
Colors, even. That's a
No,
hard
well,
thing.
the
Like
the
choosing.
front, the pre-runner front suspension kit, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That thing was in development for 1 or 2 years,
And
but
then
then
they offer
then
the
then
truck that it went to.
then you need well no but then you need
Well,
to
they did.
forecast for
Yeah.
production. So it's like, it doesn't happen like next week. It happens next year or beyond.
So all that to say, it's about 16 months usually is the turnaround.
Right, exactly. So
that's what I'm saying. Like SCX 10.2, my guess is, or SCX 24 version 2, my guess is they're like, holy cow, this SCX 30 was amazing. People love these aspects of it. The diff slider built into the axle, wicked great, right? The angled skid, the bent links, all the stuff that we buy aftermarket already being on there is like, they did it, And so they're like, holy cow, they love this. Maybe we should think about doing a bigger version of it, like, and making our 24 perform better out of the box. That's the other thing, it just perform better out of the box. But to do that's going to be 16 months because that's all new molds. They've been running those
right, yeah,
link
that
packages and
that's what
those
I'm referring
axles
to.
forever. So yeah, our normal cycle is 18 months out. Yeah. Yep. 16 to 18. 16's rushing it. The I-beam kit is awesome, Tyler.
Oh, I wasn't hating on the I-beam kit. I'm just
No, he's
I
not. He
just
was just saying the
knew.
production side of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's wicked
exactly.
cool. It's wicked cool.
It's not these mom and pop shops, trying to make 100 of something and hope to sell them in a year. This is, 10,000 or whatever units. Like,
Yeah. I think the micro stuff is cool. But I don't want to work on it. I'm okay with the 24 scale. And that's, I think a lot of people are saying that with the 30s, right? Like,
sure.
there's only so much you want to upgrade on it because the screws are not fun to work with at all,
No.
especially because they had to go with that Japanese Phillips, whatever,
Yeah.
tiny, not fun. People
Which,
that
by the
love working
way,
on minis are like, that was like, I hope to never have to do that again, right? Like when they do a whole truck, chassis and all, I won't do it. They're
which, by
sending
the
to
way,
me and I won't do
I
it.
got those screwdrivers in the Wheel ones, and then I picked up another
I know.
one.
I just told Travis about it tonight.
Yeah, and then I even got another one that's a little cheaper option than the WIA tools,
Yeah, those
but
little
yeah,
ones hurt your fingers, but they get into spots that you can't get the other one into. So,
right.
but the wheel ones are awesome.
I
I
mean,
have both of them.
overall, the 30 was a good release. The truck works,
It
I mean, this and
doesn't
that.
need anything really. Like you can, that's a stock class if you ask me.
Right.
But little things,
But
wheels and
I mean,
tires that
I
are
mean,
easy
you
to
know, I
change
mean,
because it's still just a nut. That's easy stuff. It's the
now,
hard stuff that's a pain.
some people will be like, talking to me about, oh, are we going to comp them? And I'm like, and
Come to my house.
well, right, go to Tony's house. I mean, because I'll be honest, Tony, like I sold a bunch of 30s. I don't see them come back.
Yeah, your courses are too hard for them.
Well, right, even the 24th. Like, I
Yeah. Oh
mean,
yeah, way too hard for them.
right, because it's a new segment, and but even then, like, people are like, "Oh, that's another truck, it's another entry." Yes and no. Because what happens, I mean, since I've been doing
People
this for
pay in
5
one and
years,
not the other.
they will quit doing something else to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So, um
You'd have to have its own night for its own people,
right.
and it may draw in some people, who knows, but
Well, and
it
even the
wouldn't
hop
fit
ups,
with the other.
even the upgrades, like I can't sell brushless systems for those things.
It's expensive. When you spend $100 on a
Right.
truck, it sucks to
Right.
spend another $100 on that truck.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Especially when you could put in a bigger brush motor and it's pretty decent. But again, it's the pain of doing it. However, those screws are a little bigger. The motor swap is actually very easy in them.
oh, no, no. I think the transmission layout and the motor
Transmission is
swap is,
genius.
yeah,
However, I think they should do that transmission in whatever V2 of the SCX-24, something like that. It's so wicked easy to work on.
well, like I was telling you earlier about how, people are like looking around my shop and they're like, where's the SCX 24s? I was like, I can't get them.
Hmm.
Take that for whatever.
So last time that happened, it
Like
was an
even the
electronics
Forerunner,
thing. They couldn't remember.
which is fairly
It's
probably
new.
the
I don't
newest
even
one.
have one of those yet. Do you have any?
I can't back order them. No, over 2 months.
Kind of want one.
I have a super hopped up one on my shelf. I think I have a Forerunner unpainted body too. Talk to Coster, he could do it up.
So, but where do we comp the real crawlers? MOA. No one here cares about real crawlers anymore.
What makes MOA a real crawler? You know what I mean? I mean, you have scale truck crawling, you have MOA, you have, there's just
There's
different,
all kinds.
yeah.
It's
I
more
mean,
about. So
at
here's what
least
I
in the
found about
Midwest.
here's what I found about comps, right? You have to have enough like-minded people that just want to do it. If you can
Right,
get enough people, you can make a class.
right,
Like if you can show enough interest and sustained interest, and the people aren't dicks, like that's another big thing. Like a lot of our hobby shops in Virginia wouldn't do racing. They
right,
didn't. They didn't. They didn't like the race people, like
right.
buggy racing and all that.
Yep,
They're
yeah,
like they don't pay into my shop. They won't buy from me. They all are sponsored, and
yeah.
so they use my track and my facility, and then they go and they save themselves 10% buying from their sponsor and having it shipped to them. So, like, yeah, I mean, it comes down if you can get people that want to do it. Like that's the monster truck thing. I just said I'm going to do it. Like if it didn't make itself happen here on the west side, like I was hoping that somewhere it would just and I'd just go to it. So I decided to do it. Like I found enough people that were interested, and we said let's meet once a month and do it. That's all you need for the MOA thing. The thing
Um,
is finding the rocks that really work good for the MOA here. Now I
yeah,
would say
well, yeah,
up in
exactly.
like
Like low and
Whitehall,
slow
Duck Lake
RC,
area.
he's like low and slow RC saying terrain based. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe more out west, like you were saying earlier. you know.
Yeah. You
I
want
mean,
big rocks that
even
have
look at
like shape.
tonight.
Yeah.
Look at tonight. What, and even for couple years, class 2, class 3.
Yeah.
4 is on the struggle bus.
Yeah.
And people don't stay in the class 1 anymore. You rewind a year and a half ago for class 1, and I would have a dozen people on a Sunday comp. You know,
But
um,
everybody's built their trucks up
well,
to
because
class 2,
they
class
want to do
3.
better.
Yeah.
But class 2, class 3 is by far,
Class
and
4
then
is finally growing for the minis, but it still flops from week to week. But there's a lot more people that have them now.
not at my shop.
For the minis,
Yeah,
Brandon has
no,
them. I have one.
no, people have them,
Atlas
but they
has one.
don't
It's just
comp
we.
them.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the point. I mean, yes, they exist, but
yeah.
like even on my Sundays, I don't get more than 6 or 5.
Really,
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know if I've ever hit double digits for class 4. Maybe early.
people just don't drive it as well, and so they're not willing. They'll build them and hope that it'll be better, and when they
Well,
realize they
right.
don't do better, they stop using it.
Exactly. And then
Yeah,
Dana, runs his class 2 Subaru and waxes every class,
yeah. He should
even
just
in his
enter it in
own
every
class
class.
3.
I'm gonna enter this in class 3. I'm gonna enter it in class 4. Yeah.
I encourage my 10 scale guys to do that. It's like, hey, build a class 2 truck with small tires and then run it in every
Running all of them
class.
because it still qualifies. Yep,
Exactly.
yep. No, I think I feel like comp took over so much of the crawling market for a while. Like everybody beat
Yeah.
up on RC 4-wheel drive. Their
Yeah.
stuff's crap. Like we used to love that because it was so scale
Yeah.
with the hard
Yeah.
bodies and whatever. Like
Yeah.
it
I
was great.
mean, yeah, I'll just graze over that, but yes.
It wasn't great. Their axles were
No, no, no.
breaking
I
all
meant
the
graze over
time.
the whole competition thing because
Right. Well,
yes.
I mean, you hold comps, so you're partly
Oh,
responsible. So
hey, no.
I mean, you have the facility for it.
I
No, I
have a
mean,
facility for it, but there's a difference of what's come
yeah,
to the market and
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
So everybody started catering to that because they saw everybody buying into that. However, that's not Axial's bread and butter, like
Right.
comp stuff. People aren't buying it
Well,
like to go and comp their Axial rigs. Just like
Gauntlet,
you're not buying your Traxxas to go and comp your Traxxas rig, like you're just taking it out to beat it up on a trail and run it through some mud and
right.
drive it in a puddle and just have fun with it.
Well, okay, so case in point, Gauntlet, 2024, 535 registered drivers between kids and everything. And and yes, some of them are registered and you guys just do the mini side, and I get that. But as far as the 10 scale comp, I get less than 100 scorecards turned in with 500 plus drivers.
Right.
And then out of the 6 classes,
Well, because the really fun side of the crawling world is the community
right, right,
hangout,
absolutely.
walk
And that's
trails,
my point is,
BS, and just
yep.
laugh about
And
your truck falling down the like, oh my gosh, did you just see that? I just either did something awesome or I did something completely stupid. And either way, it's a great time, like,
right.
yeah,
Yeah, and then out of those, less than 100 entries, half of them are for the 1-9 class. So that means all the other 5 classes don't even hit 10 entries typically.
yeah.
you know and that's the driving force of any market for any industry, is
What's
you
funny
know
for me is I don't like running my minis unless I'm comping. So there's a flip with my 10 scale. I want to run them and have fun and hang out and walk and go do something. You don't do that with the minis, right? They're so small, but to just run them on a course that's like even yours, like just whatever line it wants to do, they're too capable for one. You'll find a way. If
well,
there's not
your
gates
your
set,
your your guys' trucks are too
they're
capable.
pretty capable. Yeah, you're right.
Come
But
to my shop on a Saturday in January when I have 60 people driving trucks and having fun no matter what size.
yeah. But like having the gates and having like something to do and like then you're even the camaraderie is about that. Oh man, did you make it? No, like So, because even our comping, I only come Thursday night usually, so it's not super serious anyway.
Yeah.
So we're kind of doing the all chatting and laughing and whatever about the gates and whether or not it was set up great or not. And but that's part of it. That's half the fun of it too. It's like, oh, somebody made it a doozy for us this week. Like just the banter of it is the
Right.
fun.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't just get my minis out to just drive them. If there's not an intended use for like comping, like that's the get together is the hitting the course that's set in front of us because it's not like walking a trail with them and just, oh, dude, that looks
Well,
cool.
see,
Let's see if we can do that. Like,
right, and that's kind of, I mean, and I'm obviously not picking on the mini market because it's the driving force, so to speak, right now. But that's what's great about the 10 scale market is you can just go to the woods, you can go here, you can go there.
yeah,
You don't need specific areas.
yeah,
You can do way more options out of the box.
that's funny. Camaraderie. Yep. Building is another big thing. There's a big thing about chatting with people and what their builds are. And that's a big thing. Follow the leader. That's also fun. But yeah, it's not like I just go out into the woods and carry my mini and find a little spot and do that. It's not the same. So for that
Right.
kind of stuff, I usually, if I was going to just go out and do, I'm going to take, unless there's a designated spot like they've got in Colorado, the Mini Crawler Club, they've got this park and they've got an insane just crawler place in it for minis that work great with minis. But see you, Nicholas. But yeah, um, all that to say, I like what they're doing with the actual releases. These two excited me, like
Yeah, and I
legit
hope they
excited
continue
me.
the trend. Whether it's,
Yeah.
and like I said, whether it's with this platform, but I'm hoping they expand the options on the base camp. Like I said,
Mhm.
keep it budget friendly. I mean, I'm not trying to pick on Axial, but
Especially with Element kinda being like, "Where are they?"
yeah, I mean, so Axial already has the Coyote and the base camp in the 350 range. We don't need seven $500 trucks. We need more $350 trucks.
I don't think you do. I think
Well,
I think that if you're gonna get in at $300 and just do all the you're gonna change everything. If you're buying a $500 truck, you're buying it because they paid for the licensing and you want that scale detailed truck. And I think you're gonna find
so
more people that'll spend to get one that's done like I can't
well,
go and like those Chevy trucks they came out with, the Pro Line Special, I know I didn't end up getting one, but, like, I could never paint that to look like that, to go take a base camp
sure.
and go
No,
buy a
no, I,
body and
I I
make it
get
look
that.
that good.
I get
So I
that.
wanna buy one that's done that way, and I'll pay the extra to get it licensed and looking, like, off the lot
Right.
good.
But so here, case in point, the 10-3, which sold for originally 500, then they jacked it to 550. The last 10-3 I had, it took me a year to sell it. A
Mhm.
year. And then so I got
Because
in
that's not
these,
your market at the shop.
well, but then I got in the SR5s and I got 8 of them in. I've sold 2. I've sold more base camps and coyotes. Price, price, price. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I
yeah.
mean,
Well,
you know.
because it's a trail truck too, so, like and what people are gonna get to run at your place, that's not it's built heavy and trail ready, where they're gonna buy the one that's gonna be smaller and just beat it up on your course, or more to build into a comp truck. They'll start with because they know they're just gonna scrap that body and all that anyway, they're not gonna pay that extra for it. Those are really for the people that wanna buy it to look like that truck. In my
Yeah.
mind, you're stupid to go and buy that truck if you're gonna change the body out.
Oh, for sure. For the
Why
SR5,
would you?
exactly.
Just buy the base camp. It is
Right.
a base camp with that body on it. You're
Right.
buying that truck because you want that SR5 body on there. Same with when it was the Jeeps or any of the other ones, like, there's no need to buy it unless you're gonna keep that Jeep body on it and
Well,
then
and it
outfit it more or whatever,
sure.
like, really upgrade it. But because that's why you're paying into that, and so if But the thing is, like, the rock crawler guys aren't those guys. They'll put they want a skinny they're gonna ditch that body. So they want, like you're
But
saying, that base
well,
model
right, but yeah,
to build on.
I'm not catering to the comp guys. I'm not catering to the full heavy rock crawlers. I mean, I'm a business. I got to cater
Mhm.
to everything, trails and whatnot.
Right.
You know, it's like the people. I get it still all the time. Why is the base camp 24 120 and why is the Forerunner 160? I'm like, well, licensing, whatever, blah blah blah. People lean
Hard body.
people lean towards the cheaper ones. You know, it's just economic.
Yeah. Yep.
So, you know, and you
Yeah.
know, and I feel if the Toyota would have been 449 or somewhere, just when they see 499, it's the whole mental thing, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
It's it's just everybody's, looking at money always. So
Trevor Cripps, if we're lowered, make it better. The Coyote is such a better price point. Yeah, it just doesn't come with the same stuff. Especially as like because it doesn't have the newer servos or that stuff in it, right? It has metal links, but are they the beefy links that they put on the SR5? Those are some of the biggest links I've seen. The new ones on the
um
SR5. How are the Coyote ones? I actually haven't looked that closely at the Coyote since seeing
I
the SR5.
I think they all have metal links. I mean, they may not be. I mean, the whatever standard quote unquote diameter is, I think.
I don't think there's a standard diameter because the ready to run kits used to have smaller, thin, cheap metal links, and the kits used to have a much thicker one when you'd buy them from them. I'm going to look now. The bottom of the Coyote here. Kind of
Rock,
looks like it's
rock,
vent
rock,
links.
Rockwolf was bringing up something about dinner for
No,
two.
these are thin. Look at how thin these links are.
Sure.
So there's going to be a difference, like, and it's whether or not you want to pay for the upgraded. These are a completely different link. See how thin it is
Right,
going to
but
the.
but if I'm walking into a hobby shop being a newbie, I don't know none of that, and it doesn't mean anything to me. That's the thing. Um, and then like Rockwolf was saying, he's like talking about dinner for two is $50. How can people complain about 500 for a good rig? Rockwolf, I have people complain that my entry fee is $5 for a comp. I mean, and it's more than you
Axle,
think, and it's more
the,
people than you think.
the axles aren't even the same. Axle
is,
style.
is that the Coyote?
Yep.
So that has the 10-3 angled shock towers, versus like the more vertical, like the base camp and the SR5. Because the
Right.
SR5 doesn't have them.
Look at how thick these links are, though. When they finally will get to them. Any
Yeah, but I
day.
mean, the cost difference on that is not, it's like I'd rather have less part numbers than.
Good. Really, was that it? That's all the pictures. They have an undershot of the truck. Overview. Nope. All features. Wow, there's not. So here's the suspension. These are the big 6 millimeter stainless steel links. Those are thick.
6 millimeter is thick. I'll give you that. That's because the thread is typically only I think 3 mil for the eyelets. So it's like, because most links used to be just 5 mil, but I mean,
Even look at the.
if they over spec stuff,
Oh, these are portals too.
yeah, yeah. The Coyote has portals. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Coyote's pretty loaded, I
Yeah.
feel,
Yeah, but it's more of a comp. Like you're gonna build it out. It's got the tucked body. It's got the sliders. It doesn't have fenders. It doesn't have all those extra.
Well, the SR5 doesn't either.
The XR5 doesn't, but it has a whole lot more cage craziness going on in that body.
That's for sure.
Fifth picture. I went way past it. I'm over here complaining. I'm 30 in.
I
One,
mean,
two, three.
there's pros and cons for every truck, of course.
Yep.
I mean, obviously the base camp and the Coyote don't have the licensing for the bodies. And then they added the dig unit and that to the SR5. It is what it is, well, no, I almost said something, couldn't, but, so it's, yeah, just depends on what you're looking for. So,
Mhm.
but
Yep.
I've definitely noticed, there's people looking at the SR5s, but they're still staring at the price. I mean, at the end of
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
but that's with anything, I mean, there's people, yeah, I mean, people are always looking at that.
When you put that next to the VS410 Portal Builders Kit of $399, it looks pretty good to a noob. Well, even the Vanquish ready to runs, the stance, those things. But again, it's a totally different animal at a what is it, $500, $550 for stance, ready to run.
I don't know what it's at.
Does
So
the Coyote doesn't come with dig or the dig function, so you have to buy the dig unit and install it if you want to have dig. But again,
yeah,
a lot
but
of
but
people
but the, but the
don't. A
market, the
lot of
market
people
for
don't.
dig, for that stuff, like 99% of average Joes don't even know what it is, and then it's very niche to add that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of this is going into the outer armors, and I mean they licensed all of that too through the Gen Right or whatever. What is it? What did they license? Gen Right bumpers and body armor. They
Right,
licensed
sure.
Daytona
Yeah,
wheels.
yeah,
They
yeah. There's
licensed
definitely
Ricky
more licensed
Thompson.
stuff, and exactly. So,
Yeah.
and
They've
it
got the
looks the
dig
part
function.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully overall, it does what they want it to do.
Aluminum bodied shocks instead of plastic bodied shocks. Because the Coyote doesn't have aluminum shocks either.
So what's interesting is that there was,
Although
I
those
believe,
shocks are awesome on the Coyote.
there was zero announcements, regarding the SR5 and the CJ7 before they were actually announced. Like me being a Horizon dealer, they used to do, like, when the Helamon was released, like the night before or 2 nights before, there was a you know a private, there's a private Horizon group for dealers, and Matt Higgins would get on there and showcase, hey, this is this, da, 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 da. There was none of that for these things, and
That's how there weren't any leaks either.
not that I'm
The
aware of.
dealers were the worst leakers ever. I could go
Well,
back to all the pictures and point
oh,
because I know what the
I'm
back end.
sure.
I know what the back end website is to order from, and they were all those sites. You could look at the website. It was a deal. All of them were dealer login leaks. Every single one
Oh,
of
I,
them.
I I bet they were,
Yep.
but like, but I would search stuff, and I couldn't see, stuff,
Yeah.
um, but like, I think they're, so who knows what else is coming, this year, because it seems like they're doing a little bit of an overhaul on Axial, like moving forward, making other decisions, with the Toyota, with the CJ7, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully kind of doing 10.2 editions, but with the 10.3s, that's what
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah, Jim, I get you on that. Well, Jeff, I will say you make an awesome place for people to crawl in the West Michigan area. Um, you have tons of parts available when they're needed. Um, I bought one tonight, in fact. Like the parts that people don't even think about. Like a lot of shops don't carry Mias axles. Jeff's got them. I bought a set from you a month ago when I built the Yep spec. You know, got
Yeah, well, there's a lot of hobby
a Pure
shops that
Tech from you
won't.
today.
There's a lot of hobby shops that won't deal with buying product unless they have 30-day terms, because they got a little bit of the old school mentality. And well, guess what? If you buy something on your credit card, the bill is not due for 30 days.
Right.
And unfortunately, these days with the aftermarket world, Injora, Trio and Injora are actually now available through A-Main, but I buy direct from Injora, and I get better pricing because of, the level I'm at.
You do
And
it through it. Yeah. Amen.
but even A-Main has recognized, like, hey, we need to make this stuff happen,
Yeah.
um, which is great,
Because
so
they have Furitech and stuff too now. Amen.
right.
And yeah.
Well, but see, even some shops are so old school. A-Main is still debit credit card up front, and but like with some of these brands going like exclusive A-Main and this and that, like it could really bite them.
Yeah. Or for people like you, it makes it so that you have access to so much stuff through Amen now.
Right. Oh, for
Right.
sure.
Yeah. It's all, I mean, industries are weird no matter what market you're in.
Yeah, for sure.
And the crawler is drones and crawler market since I got into the RC hobby. So I've only been into RC. These guys were talking 90s, man. Holy crap. I got hold on. Let me see. I can give you the date. I have a note card now. I need to build up my RC history. April 2013. First RC was a 2-wheel drive Traxxas Stampede, April 5th, 2013.
That was your what? That was
I
your
mean,
first.
well, other than being a kid, we had some of the Nico ones, and we had a Lobo too. But my parents didn't realize that they were hobby grade and that they could buy parts for them, so they got tossed when they got broken. It sucked because we launched it off a slide backwards.
Right.
To the moon at a playground.
Yeah, you took a break or whatever.
But we
Blah
weren't. We
blah.
were just kids. Like, and we
Yeah.
had one of those cool the 4-wheelers. There's a Yamaha one. Nico made it. It was blue. Oh my gosh, it
Yeah.
was so awesome.
Well, and I grew up racing, so I was in the industry.
I wasn't in it, dude. Like we
Right.
would watch them.
Exactly.
I wanted them, but my parents were teachers. We didn't have money, and so we raced BMX. And these guys would show up with the nitros after we were done racing and start launching them. And all I ever wanted was to get one because our bike shop sold RCs, and so we'd go in there we were sponsored, and so the shop we'd go into to get stuff when we need it was actually directly next door to my dad's school, which was awesome. So he'd pick us up and we'd run over there. But they had them, like they had the Tamiya lunchbox, they had all the nitro buggy. Oh, it was so rad, but never could afford them. And so, yeah, man. And I was so what 2013. How old was I? 34. And I got my BMX bike out because we moved into this house next to these BMX trails in Virginia. And when I went back home to see my parents in Michigan, I grabbed my bike and I brought it back and was riding and messed up my shoulder and neck. And, doing video work and carrying around heavy equipment, that was no bueno. Like,
Right.
I'd have to go through airports and crap. So I just happened to be coming over this bridge and saw what I thought was a BMX track, and still me thinking bikes. I was like, dude, I'm going to go check it out. So I pull in and I asked these guys running RCs about the thing. They're like, oh no, this is an RC track for RCs. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, they sell them in there. I'm like, huh? So I went in and saw the Gravedigger, told my wife I
Oh,
wanted it, and she was like, not a chance. $230? No way.
back around like 92, I'm still racing hardcore, indoors in the winter, outdoor in the summer, and we built an off-road track what used to be a BMX track,
Yep.
and I mean, it was overgrown. I mean, and blah blah blah. I think the only thing you could see was like the starting gates because they were actually cement, I think. But
Usually cement with the metal grating and the
yeah, the grates were gone. But anyway, so we built the RC track. We put fencing up. These guys would throw their bikes over the fence just to ride a BMX
on
even
your
on an RC track.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's like, what are you
Because there
doing?
weren't jumps, man, and so you wanted anything you could.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
but
I
I
wanted
mean,
to race motocross
it's
too,
not like
but
we
couldn't
had
afford
super
it.
jumps.
Right. Anyway, um, hey, that's how my kind of getting into it was. It was a stampede, and then I got a low C a year later, April 3rd, almost exactly a year later. I convinced her I should upgrade and get a $500, $600 low C. And but yeah, where was this starting? Where were we going with it? We're talking about RC companies.
You want
I
to
don't even
spin
remember.
off
I went on
regarding.
a big old tangent. What was that off of? Anyway, pricing has come back, GT or Haro. So we had free agent, PK Rippers, Hyper Bikes. Um,
Have you gone to freewheeling bike shop
Haro.
here at all?
So we used to
Haro.
race guys on Freewheeling Bike Shop. Their team.
Yeah.
So we were Bike City on the east
Yeah, they've
side.
been around. They've been around forever.
Yep. Freewheeling would come. There used to be where we'd all race somewhere in like Lansing area in the winter. They'd rent out a space and they'd have all the big old heaters
Yeah. I
roaring.
remember Mongoose and Haro
Mongoose, yep.
and then
Mongoose was
Mongoose sold to
big.
Walmart and then they became whatever crap.
Yep. Same with GT.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
I had a GT mountain bike in college and but it's just
Yep. Lansing race. Yeah, indoor. Yeah. So
the
I know.
SR5, we can go jump back to
Yeah, jump back
RC.
to it. So that's all right. So anyway, yeah. So my start was that, and it's not that long ago. And so what
Right.
I've seen in the industry, that's I think where it was going. Like the shift and everything that we've seen has been huge in the last 13 years.
Oh,
But the
yeah.
pricing has gone up and down. Like when I got into it, it was expensive. There wasn't you were paying this much for brushed stuff,
Right.
you know? And so we've seen like up and downs where things got really cheap when China market first hit. That's what it is. I just remember a land a plane. Um, the China markets first came in, it bottomed so much of the pricing out. Like they realized we have to compete. We need to go brushless because that's what Alibaba and GearBest and Banggood and all of those, Temu's early Temu's were doing. And so that all came in, but then they didn't have this aftermarket. So I got into drones and crawling, right? The aftermarket in those, like the shops couldn't carry the stuff to upgrade them
Right.
because it was all small, like it is still like. And I feel like one of the big mistakes Axial made was trying to do a pro comp crawler.
Right.
Like people didn't want that from Axial.
Well, some of them did, and that was the problem.
A few people thought
Right.
because they only had an Axial and they were afraid to go outside of it. But most of the market didn't want. They
Right.
wanted to buy
Oh,
that
yeah. We
G
don't.
Speed and they wanted to buy they wanted those names. They didn't want the Axial because Axial to them was trail stuff and not comp.
Right.
And it's just like the Reefs came in and it's like, well, they're not the Savox and whatever. They're like this small thing and we're gonna jump on that bandwagon, right? But it's even like with our buddy Brandon, right? And Venge RC and what he's doing, like people would rather buy his aftermarket. So everyone's like, actually just needs to come out with a V2, but make it a comp crawler. It's like people don't want that. They don't want a 24 scale comp from Axial.
Right. No.
They want to
No.
they
No.
want to
That.
own the Mofo chassis. They want to own the Venge. They
Right.
want the Yep XL. Like they want maybe some of what you've got going if it's good. Like if you can keep the transmission, the axles, and the shocks, like if they could do those things so well that people didn't need those, and you could slap on the other chassis and wheels and tires you want, like then they'd have something like because that's like you go to an event and it's like, what needs to be an axial rig? What does that mean? It has to have our transmission, it has to have our axles or based on our axles, right?
Right.
So if they could do that, they'd be winning. But people want to buy the small thing that nobody's ever heard of. They want to be the people to discover the band that nobody's ever heard of. And when they make it big, they'll say they sold out.
Right.
That's human nature. That's just where people are. So
Yep.
Axial's got something good going. They just need to ride what it is and understand where they are,
Yeah.
and they'll make a ton of money doing it. But they also shouldn't waste their money in what people don't want from them.
Right,
Which
because
is why I
Axial
say
has
don't make a
long
comp one.
established themselves as whatever. That was like I couldn't get the base camp 10 scales for a bit. Well, actually a long bit. And then all of a sudden they announced the Coyote, which was the tucked body, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Axial was the OG comp crawler back in the day. But it was a different world.
Right.
That would be a trail
Exactly.
truck nowadays.
So but yeah, good releases, I think so far for this year. I mean, do I overall think the 30 was a good release? Yeah. I mean, for sure. I think the SR5 and the 10 scale, hopefully they continue that trend. And, like I said, hey, there's a lot of 24 scales I can't get for a bit of time.
Yeah.
Little conspiracy. I don't know.
He says, no, not a trail truck at all. Dude, those AX10s and stuff, I think you forget a little bit of what the capability was like out of the box.
Oh, the AX10 Scorpion? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, other than the big pumpkins, I mean, the 10
It
too.
did okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah.
They were the original comp crawler, but it's not quite what they've done now. Yeah.
Right.
I'll give you that, John. I'm just trying to.
Well, everything evolves.
I'm not trying to put Axial into the trail box either, but that's when they really hit big, at least from what I remember.
Sure.
Like, they were no name to me until the SCX10 came out, and all of the Jeep and the the licensed stuff.
Well, I mean, I've worked in hobby shops since 2004, and that, and a little bit before that even, but so it's like I've seen it since the beginning. So
even Losi had the crawlers back then.
Yeah, well, that's because Horizon bought it, and
that was before Horizon was part of Axial. They had their crawlers.
No. I meant Horizon bought Losi. They did that far before Axial.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm referring to, and then and which so turned it into.
No, I wasn't here for the X10, but I know I had friends that had them, and they weren't like the comp crawlers that we see now. Like if you go to like when we were at Proline by the Fire, what those guys were running on the motor on axle stuff.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'm with John though. Like after seeing those trucks run, holy crap, how they just hang them. But we also don't have those rocks.
Yeah, there's a guy.
The axles did suck.
The Axial nitro engines, the 32s and the 28s and whatnot. I mean, those things were sweet. They just ran like clocks. I mean, I'm assuming they were OS based or whatever. OS.
So what did Axial do before crawlers then? Or was it always crawlers? You're talking nitro engines.
No, Axial did nitro engines.
Or crawlers?
No.
Or no,
for
buggies.
8-scale buggies for for monster trucks
okay.
No, Axial was just the first brand to bring RTR crawler out of the box, so.
Yeah. The motors were made by the same company that made HPI motors.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the name because I should have known it because I've been in
Most
the industry
motors
so
were
long.
made in like one of three places, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, the Italian engines were all for racing. the Japanese engines were, for everything else practically.
Yeah.
But OS engines are Japanese based, but I mean, they were good. They were good for like the off-road scene, but like the on-road scene, it was just dominated by Italian engines. So, oh man, low and slow. Man, you're showing your background, Umberto Colari. I actually sponsored Umberto Colari with my traction compound for a while.
Yeah. So what, 2007 is when the first AX10 hit. We didn't have much for comps where we were though for crawling.
No, we
West
didn't have
Coast.
comps. Even when I was living in Florida at the time. No, it was people still just throwing broken concrete and climbing, and that's it. There was
Yeah. But West
no,
Coast, is that where the main hub of it was, I would guess, with the rocks they have there and the rock crawling they do there?
maybe. I mean, dude, I was so into racing back then still that I never paid attention. I mean, there was nothing locally in Orlando other than rock piles. There was never, I mean, I think Axial might have finally released some of their little rubber uh, gate markers and stuff, but it just wasn't quite there as a comp because it was trails having
Yeah, it
fun.
was the Colorado boys that were really influential in getting it going.
Axial first teamed with Castle Creations.
Hmm.
Pico, RB Mods, yep. Yeah. Pico, I mean, Italian brand. RB Mods, was, I think it's European. I forget. Um, yeah, I mean, because I briefly worked part time for like Phantom Racing, back in like this is way back, 2000 or 2003, and they had nitro engines and same blocks, so.
Yeah.
But that's like with so many industries, even the power tool industry, there's not, there might be 15 brands, but there's not 15 manufacturers.
Right. All right. Well, we should look to ramp up here in a little bit. Hour
Yeah,
40
yeah,
going.
no,
No, this is
we're all
good.
good.
This is good.
So,
What predictions do you have? Let's end with that. Or if it's not a prediction, what would you hope to see from the crawler
well, I, I
world this
I would
year?
hope
More
to
events would be
see
one that I hope, but
more what?
more events. They bring back Axial,
Right,
Best at Badlands.
right. Yeah, I think they need to do that for sure. Um, because it was pulling the numbers, and whatnot, and just giving, because
And it
yes, the
wasn't
back.
competition based, it was
Right,
fun based. Yeah.
exactly. And that's what's kind of driven the gauntlet, because when I helped more and more in organizing, it was like, we need to shift the focus a little bit. We need people to just come out, hang out. Yeah, so hopefully Axial Fest and those come back because they were big, and it's just getting, like you said, the community aspect of it and getting people together. I
Yeah.
hope they continue down the path of body options out of the box, regardless of price point. I mean, because
I would like to see some that aren't as like they did with the old ones. Like I like what you're saying, the Cherokee and like those
yeah,
that were cheap. They didn't have all the molded parts. They just
right,
looked it and were cheap.
right,
I would be
right,
for that.
exactly. Yeah, because not everything needs to be bells and whistles. I mean,
No.
there's the KISS method. Keep it simple. And it's
Yeah.
just uh I like I said, the 30 I think was a good release. I mean, um I don't know if more are potentially coming down the road for that. I'm assuming you know, there might be some more 30 options, you know, I mean, you know, and timing of all that stuff, you know, and like we said, it's 16, 18 months out, Chinese New Year, all these factors, you know.
I just want to go work for Axial and have them make a 24 scale Unimog 406. Give it to me. Come on.
And
I've
then
asked and they
as
said
far
we'll
as the
never do
24
that.
scales, you know, I'd like to see. I don't think they need to overhaul it because I think it would not be a good thing.
24 scale?
I think there could be some great upgrades.
Yeah.
You know, that's the point. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know, we
The
don't need
size
all
is
we don't
right.
need new.
Don't go to 18 scale. Don't change. Like, if you're
Right.
going to do anything
No.
Axial, don't just jump and be like, we want to separate our 30 from our 24 and make it bigger and do it. Don't do that. The
No.
30 to
Well,
24 is huge jump.
and as far as, you know, like in my shop, the SCX 24 is still king over Red Cat 18 scales, over whatever. Like, you know, I
It's a
mean,
great size.
yeah,
A
exactly. I
great
mean,
size.
they were the first to market. They've got so many upgrade options from other brands that, like, just
So
keep
I
going.
think if they do new axles, they need to keep the exact same worm gears so that everything already made works. Like, keep whatever your tolerances are, keep it based on that worm gear that's already there. But I think that they should do new drive shafts or axle shafts inside of the axles that turn better.
Right.
CVD, and open up like the ends so there's not the stopping point.
Well,
You don't have to double
even if
bend
they
them.
did the U joint
Yep.
axles, that would
Yep.
help.
Yeah. Like the ones you have,
Right.
the steel
Exactly.
ones, and then just trim away some of that plastic from the factory so they turn closer to 50 some degrees. Like, not full Mias, but they need to be close, you know, without being a double bend. Whatever George gets, George runs stock axles shaved
Yeah. Yep.
and he slays almost everybody. So,
Right. Exactly.
um,
So,
I think
well,
if they did that,
that
fixing
leads
the
to
worm
that.
gears alone would be a huge upgrade. Not true. The worm gears are the best thing working for the 24 scale.
Oh yeah,
It's the
100%.
easiest thing to work on. They don't go bad. You don't have like the FMS and other ones where you chip teeth and it doesn't happen. They're bulletproof. They're bulletproof.
If it isn't broke, don't fix it.
It's easy. It's so easy to go overdrive, underdrive.
Right. The simplicity that's what you keep in mind.
It has built in the people that complain about it are the people that want to go fast. And it has instant braking. You have
Right.
drag brake no matter
Right.
what. Like,
Right.
no, it works. The worm gear is the one thing I would say hold on to. That's what's different and sets it apart and
Yep.
is solid. Like then you're because otherwise you're gonna get centered crap. You're gonna get centered
Yeah.
gears that are gonna get chunked up and junk. It's not.
Well, because and the biggest problem is when you're going so small, the quality can go down real quick unless you're really paying, you know, because they're going to mass produce it. So,
Yeah. No, you want stuff that has to be cut. Worm gears.
right. Yep.
But yeah, I think those work. I think they could do the transmission. They could potentially fit the SCX30 transmission into the 24, make it
Right.
small, but they need a bigger motor. They need a better servo.
Yep.
Because that was the one thing, like people like the servo is good on the SCX30. The
Right.
motor is good on the SCX30 for the size.
Well, for the
But it's the
size,
same
correct.
motor that we're having in the stinking SCX24. So put a bigger
Exactly.
one in.
Right.
Yeah.
050.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah,
lengthen it.
little enhancements. Yep. So,
Stuff like that would be great.
Oh,
50. I didn't get to see my predictions, but we're good. I think yours were good.
Do you remember I sent you a photo when the Summit 24 scale came out?
If they do more of that, that's good.
But the Summit truck had CVDs.
It does have CVDs. Yeah.
I just remembered that because I sent you a screenshot. And I'm
it
like,
has
what
CVDs.
is this?
So those are some of the things I said. If it has better axles that they'll keep.
Right.
But they need to shave it. They need a new mold. They can keep they can keep the worm gears, new mold, new knuckle in order to turn more, better servo. Again, doesn't have to be like Reef's better. It just can't crap out after 10 runs.
Well, yeah, U joints are greater than CVDs. I understand, but the point is that
they made a change.
They made a change, and they didn't focus on it.
Nope. But they also had Proline shocks.
Right.
If they do those Proline
but,
shocks, which are good, they're great shocks.
Well, but
Proline
some of the
tires
trucks have the plastic version of the Proline shocks.
Yeah. But if they do that stuff where it's like, I don't have to upgrade my shocks, I don't have to upgrade my axles, I don't have
need
to
to put
upgrade
the
my
plastic
transmission.
Prolines on all of them.
I don't technically have to upgrade my tires. I could use the Hyrax if they put Hyrax or something like it, like
Sure.
Proline
Yeah,
ones are.
they could tap into their proprietary line a bit more.
And then you could take those and put them on different wheels without having to buy. Then paying $150 or whatever for an SCX 24, it's like, well, I'm keeping most of it. I'm going to get a new chassis that allows me to angle my shocks differently. And boom, we're good to go. I'll add some weight, brass, new servo, done. Like,
yeah,
if they could do that, then we'd be talking.
Right. Sure. Subtle, good, thought out, planned enhancements. I mean, they don't need to reinvent. They don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. Tony, then aftermarket is already there.
Oh yeah, tool time. I agree. Take the slop out of the stock steering rack or link.
Oh my gosh, the steering links are garbage. Truth. Yeah, and if I would do the angled, I would do an angled skid in the chassis. Might as well. Slight. They did it with the 30, and then they did the links to match it.
So I mean,
and
if they did it with the 30, we can foreshadow possibly anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like 9 or 11%. It's not a lot, but just give it a little with the bent link, the rear bent links. Don't even do the fronts. Half of it is if you're gonna do an angled skid, then do shorter front links, longer rear links,
right?
And get it so your tires actually hit the skid properly. But will there be a bomber only class? John is so on the bombers. Bloke ignores his mates. I know who that is, Jack. I'm not ignoring my mate. I'm chatting with one of them right here. Although I did ignore you for 2 weeks or so, Jeff, right? We were trying to do this we've been trying to get this going for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, Tuesday night, you're like, hey, live stream. I'm like, hey, I'm here every night. I'm available.
That bloke right there needs to have a live stream with me here. But you know how busy I am too.
Oh yeah.
Jeff sees it. Pinckney RC. I know where Pinckney is. I haven't heard of it. But I know where it is. I grew up on the east side. We used to play basketball at the Pinckney Rec Center. It was it wasn't a rec center. It was National Guard had like a base thing. They had a gym in it, like a rec center. Yeah. We'd play basketball in the National Guard thing, which was awesome with all the cool truck as a high schooler. Like all the military vehicles around. But yeah. Outdoor 1/8. Haven't heard of it. Novi has a pretty sweet track. Have you seen what the city let them do? The outdoor track they have?
No.
It's pretty rad. So, all right, guys, well, we're going to jump off of here. My predictions are Gauntlet's going to be amazing as far as RC goes. Crossing my fingers on the Badlands. I hope it happens. I saved my June. I didn't put any events in June, like even for my monster truck racing. I did the end of May. So I have 2 in May. One of them counts as my June race because I'm trying to trying to leave a window open for whatever is decided.
Right.
And then I don't know. Will there be? I don't know that there'll be any crazy SCX 24 stuff this year. I think it's too soon after the SCX 30, but maybe they had them both in the works at the same time, and I could be blown out of the water on that. But I would think it'd be further down the road.
Well, I'm sure it was on the table.
I mean, I keep looking at you, Vanquish, And don't give us a crappy 18 scale. We don't want it.
There's too many 18 scales now. I mean,
And none of them are as
None
good
of-
as the 24.
none of them are superstars.
Well, technically, the Red Cat Ascent is the best out of the box out of any of them.
Oh, sure.
But it doesn't get our heart like the 24 scale.
No.
Our heart is with the 24 scale. I don't know why. It's just a more appealing size and just overall usage, track size that you can get out of a space. You can get more track out of a smaller space.
Right.
And still be more capable than a 30. So yeah.
Yeah.
You call me a flog. So anyway, we'll catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Do something weird, Jeff. We're off. No, I'm just kidding. We're still on.